And then I'll walk around, and anyone that's got any questions, I'll be more than happy to put them to John. First, I think I want to just thank everyone to help put this on today, especially Steve. Did a wonderful job. Where's Steve?
Here he is.
Hey, Steve. And it's been a really good turnout, especially for end of the holiday evening. What can my impressions of the film, you're a strong man, John. You know, this is the most serious stuff, and your son is, well, the definition of a hero. You know, like he sacrificed everything for all our sakes, and for the sakes of our Western democracies, basically. And it's all in all our interests that he gets out of jail. And hopefully, I think the grand opening of the film is in a couple of days. So, yeah, I think it's going really well, and from this turnout, I think things bode well for the future. I've been speaking to a few people just around town now, and it seems to me that the character assassination on Julian has run its course. And I think people, with all the troubles that are going on in the world, are starting to appreciate just what he did and how we need him, and more and more people like him. So, just a quick question. I was just wondering, how are you going? You've been on the road now for a number of years.
I'm okay. You know, often I'm asked that question, and then I always contemplate the difficulty of answering it. I'm all right. I'm here talking to you guys, which is not a burden. It's a pleasure, you know, to see such support. But then I always reflect on Julian, who's in the cell about that big, with the toilet there and a slot window, and he looks out and he can see the sky through barbed wire, and that's been 3 years now, and a total of 14 years. Yeah, so I'm all right, but he's not so good. Yeah.
And you're on a bit of a journey, so this is your second night?
Yeah. We've done a few now. Actually, I was just thinking today, Rain asked me something. I was thinking that Rain's over there. She's
There we go, Rain's helping out as well.
Rain asked me today, I think we've been on every continent except Antarctica. And this is the start of a journey with this film. We take it on the road, because nowadays, film distribution is sort of locked up and regionalised and very hard to get into. So it's a real pleasure to take the film on the road and come and see those people who are going to give support, or have given support, or may give support in the future.
I've got a book here, The Trial of Julian Assange. Can you tell us about this book?
So there's a famous book called J'accuse by Emile Zola. It's about the Dreyfus case, I Accuse. Well, this book here by Niels Melzer. Professor Niels Melzer, Professor of International Law at Glasgow University. He's now, he was then, when he wrote this book, the United Nations Rapporteur on Torture and Unusual Punishment. And he reviewed Julian in the Belmarsh prison back in 2019 and produced a report. Now, that caused him to spend some considerable time considering all aspects of Julian's case, and he assembled them into this book. There's a publication in German, and this is the publication in English. I advise you to have a bit of a look, and you'll be able to answer any question and fill out what the actual distortions of due process, the irregularities of administration of law, and the fabrications of evidence, the smearing of Julian's name, the mobbing, and the deliberate incarceration of Julian Assange for 14 years. And this Nils Melzer describes the interior of those 14 long years. And he describes them as psychological torture. The exterior, that's the 14 years in itself, is described and condemned by the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention, which produced their report in February 2018. The second report, the first one, came out, to which the United Kingdom objected, and consequently the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention produced another report in February 2018, further in stronger language, insisting that Julian was arbitrarily detained, ought to be freed, and paid compensation by Sweden,